Time and again, there are different types of traditions that take place in our country, Zambia. Today, I found myself here in the district of Monza where we are celebrating Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony. At this time, let's be together so that we can see everything that takes place here at Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony in Monza. In our country, Zambia, we have different tribes and traditions that have different traditions. Such traditions include Umtomboko for the Bembas, Kuomboka ceremonies for the losses, and the Luvales celebrate what they call Ikumilyamize. Within the Tonga land, we have different ceremonies such as Shimninga for the Ilas, Lwiindi ceremony for the Tongas, Chagwela Makumbi ceremony for the Solis, and Kulambakuwalo for the Lenges, and many more. From 3rd July to 6th July, we celebrate Lwiindi Gonde ceremony here in the district of Monza. Thousands of people from different parts of the country come to the site of the ceremony using public transport, such as vehicles. Others come with bicycles, that is for those that come from within the area, and others, of course, come on foot. At this same instance, there were different chiefs who came to attend this ceremony. Besides different chiefs from different places, were different traditional singers from all over the country. These singers and dancers were entertaining the people at the ceremony. Chief Monze explained the importance of Gonde ceremony and other things that take place here at Lwiindi Gonde ceremony. Lwiindi Gonde ceremony, madam, is a place where everybody would gather whenever we had a common problem, such as droughts. We could gather at Lwiindi Gonde ceremony at the shrines and pray for the rains, and the rains would start falling before we even left the place. Other than that, there were other things that were taking place. At times we could have an outbreak of chicken pox. We could go to the shrines, and it is from there that we could get the answers to our problems from the spirits. I remember one time there was an outbreak with our cattle. We still went to the shrines, and we had a representative who communicates to the spirits and gives us the answer back, and whatever comes from the spirits takes place. Now you've talked about the representative between the community and the spirits. Was that person ordinary or what? Of course the person was ordinary, but they could be possessed at that time whenever they were communicating to us, because everything they spoke was amazing and it came to happen. To the youths, of what importance is it for them to follow traditions? Today it's very important to follow traditions as youths, because it brings us together with adults. As adults, we would show our youths how the old traditional dances were done, and we would show them how to respect elders. For example, we teach our children here that any sexual activities are not allowed, and we teach everybody that attends this ceremony that sexual immorality is a taboo to our tradition. Unless one is married, it is a taboo. A long time ago, an elderly person would visit a friend and tell them that I want to marry your young daughter, and the man would also accept and take their daughter in her early teenage. This was done without respecting the right to marry of the daughter. All this was taught to us by the spirit before it was realized that it was wrong. Nowadays what happens is just a reflection of what used to happen. As mentioned earlier on, the ceremony begins on the 3rd of July, and on 4th and 5th only shows take place there. And on the same day, which is the 5th of July, we wait for the government officials to come to the ceremony. We are united with the government as chiefs, that the government is very important when it comes to feeding the multitude. On our own, with our own resources, we can't afford. Thanks very much. In conclusion, what would you say concerning traditional activities for the Tongas? The few words I can say concerning traditional activities here are that when we come at Lwiindi Gonde ceremony, let us respect ourselves. Let us not hear that somebody has been incarcerated for misbehavior. And when we are here at Lwiindi Gonde ceremony, we don't have to do certain things that are immorally wrong. Even beer drinking here is discouraged. Our gathering here is to show unity. and to show other people that Lwiindi Gonde ceremony is not something that has just begun. For us elders, it's something that brings us together as elders from different parts of the country. We try by all means to make this ceremony better each year, and this has highly contributed to large numbers of people who come to attend this ceremony each year. This time we had 3 different chiefs from Central Province who came to visit Lwiindi Gonde ceremony for the first time. We had Chief Mokuni from Chibombo, female chief from Serenje, and Chief Mokonji from Kawe town. They all say something concerning the ceremony. I'm very thankful to the people of Monze for this privilege to attend such an auspicious traditional ceremony.
Nothing to say much, but I'm very grateful to see the Lwiindi ceremony being peaceful.
I give thanks to the Lord for this occasion. This simply shows that we are people who are united as one Zambia, one nation. There is nothing like this one is white, this one is black. We are all made in one image of God. Let us listen to one of the chiefs who was present to this ceremony. I found myself here because each year I attend Lwiindi Gonde ceremony, because as chiefs we need to help one another in upholding our traditions. Lwiindi Gonde ceremony means a celebration in which people gather to thank God for their harvest. Some people, of course, they say traditions are old-fashioned and the like, but people in developed countries such as Japan and China respect their traditions and they uphold them. So for the children who say it's old-fashioned, they just need to be taught what is important for them. To start with, I would say Lwiindi Gonde ceremony is simply thanking God for the bumper harvest. Thanks very much. Now, when you talk about celebrating and thanking God, how do we celebrate and how do we thank God? Is there a place where we go to where we thank God? How do we do it? And what would you tell a young person who doesn't know anything? Lwiindi Gonde ceremony, a long time ago, when this place was not highly populated as it is now, The people used to harvest, and after harvesting they would make beer and they would sit together and drink beer, thanking God for everything that they have harvested. And as Tongas, we thought, let us come up with this ceremony so that our young ones who are still growing can understand where we came from. You've talked about something very important that reminds me of adults, parents who stay in towns and they don't like taking their children to villages, and they say when we go to the villages they will bewitch our children and the like. Now, this is why we thank the media for helping us sanitizing such parents in town, that there is nothing like that in villages. As chiefs, we thought of having one place so that we can have such a ceremony where we can gather everyone. There is no one that can come from a certain village to come and practice witchcraft here. Actually, ceremonies like these should be televised so that parents from towns who don't attend this ceremony can watch it from their homes. Thanks very much. Please give us the closing remarks. What we are saying is that the main thing that we are doing here at Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony is to teach our children, especially those in towns, that what does this ceremony mean? What does Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony mean? And why does it come around July? This is because that's the time when we finish harvesting. Being found at such ceremonies is very important for our young ones because it educates our young ones that everything has got its own time at its own right time, and the people who are found here are not juveniles, are people of age. Like women, why do they say a girl child is not supposed to attend such ceremonies? What words do you have to such women? Such thoughts are not good for women because our children learn from us as their elders, and they're the future leaders of tomorrow. And if they are not taught or they are not exposed to these things, how they make good leaders when they don't know their own traditions? Please say to the people who involve themselves in sexual activities when they come here. Such activities are not allowed. Actually, they are a taboo. A long time ago, before one came here, they were not allowed to sleep with someone, so that even when they come here, it is still a taboo and they don't have to do it. Learning about Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony is very good because it teaches our young ones how their great grannies were being brought up. Like others have spoken, that Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony is something that we have to follow, something that we have to perpetuate. There are other parents that, especially those that are found in towns, those that say they don't believe in traditions and their children follow their parents. What words would you say to those? To such people, I would say that is going astray. They need to bring their children here so that they can learn the importance of their language, the importance of their tribe. Even a white person, they would stay here in Zambia for some years, and when it's time, they would have to go to their country and visit because it is very important for them. Thanks very much. What words in conclusion would you give to the public. The last thing I would say to my fellow Tongas is that let us gather together in such a manner so that we can show unity, and let us not be divided because we are one Zambia, one nation. If it means to go and visit the losses in Kuomboka ceremony, let us go. If they are coming to visit us here, let them come. They are most welcome. Even the president for UPND, Hakainde Hichilema, had a few ways to say to the people concerning this tradition ceremony. We have to work diligently together as Tongas and as a country at large. Lwiindi Gonde ceremony is supposed to take place with maximum peace. Even though there were other people who were talking here and there, some of us didn't want to start arguing in newspapers and the like. We just decided to sit back because we believe in solving issues by dialogue. Thank you. You have mentioned about working together. What do you say to those people who have other issues that intend to harm or destroy our tradition? What I would say is that people who stay together, they would at least quarrel once in a while, but that doesn't mean when they quarrel they should stop talking to each other forever, because somebody leading people, they are leading different types of people: intelligent people, people who are slow in learning things, wise people, even those that are not wise. So whenever there is a problem, resolution should be gathering together, correcting one another in a mature way. That is what I can tell people about that. Again, it's not good to take anything that happens in privacy to the public. That is not good, legend. What I'm saying right now is that those that want to play havoc with the ceremony, here we don't encourage that. Because personally I've worked for about 13 years before I even joined politics. We are the ones who began Chundu Cultural Funds. We started this so that it can help traditional ceremonies like this one. Even the time I was entering the politics, I've visited even other traditional ceremonies like Likumbiliamize, Kuomboka for the losses, because as Zambians we are supposed to be together. At this time, speaking in behalf of the public, there was a request was made that Chief Monza should be recognized as the paramount Chief Monza, like Chief Mukulu and Chief Benzani. This is because this was published in the Constitution of Zambia in 1929.
From today, that paramount Chief Monza is not a senior chief. He is Monza Mukuru like Mwataka Zembe, like Mupezeni. He was recognized and gazetted in 1929 as a paramount chief Monza when the colonial government established these native authorities and other wings of government.
time to open this traditional dance came. The dignified Honorable Eustatio Kazunga, who was sent to represent the government, was given time to give a speech.
I wish to express my sincere gratitude to be part of this year's celebrations of the Lwiindi Traditional Ceremony. Together, people of various backgrounds in celebrating the season's harvest and to praise and seek God's guidance and blessings during coming season.
Also, the Minister of Southern Province, Daniel Monkombwe, was also present at the ceremony. This is what he had to say. When time for presenting gifts came, people presented different gifts, and the chief also was given some gifts. Time for going to the shrines at the ceremony came, and other people were not allowed to go there because of certain things. Let us listen to some of the things that make people not to be allowed to go to the shrines when they are at Gonde. A person who is allowed to go to the shrines is someone who is okay. If a woman is attending her periods, she's not allowed to go there, because if she comes back, she will never stop being on period. For men, if he had slept with a woman and he goes to the shrines, the time he comes back, he'll continue feeling the back aches. Well, thanks very much. What do you say to young adults or youths who tend to do the very thing they are told not to do? What words do you have for such? To the youths or young adults who do not listen to elders, it is for their own good if they don't follow what adults are telling them. The problem will continue. Like I said earlier on, that if it's a man and slept with a woman and he comes here, they'll continue feeling the back aches after this ceremony until nobody knows. When the people are about to reach the shrines, there is a place where they are told to remove their shoes, and they are to continue until they reach the premise on their barefoot. That happens to be the chief of the area, Chief Monze, removing their shoes, and there is let's listen. Let's be together. When you look at the history, Chief Monze, who came on foot, when he died, he left whatever he was doing for the king who is laying here. His name is Chief Mayava. He did lots of miracles for us here. Here where he's lying, this is his graveyard, so to say. People used to come here to worship him whenever they had problems such as droughts and when they had diseases, and the rains would come, their disease would be wiped out. This king, or this chief rather, is the same one who had the major revelations to us. When you look here where we are, the other side there is another chief called Kabuyu. This chief is the one who was called one who eats stones. What used to happen was that there was a hill behind that other tree there. What would happen was that the king or the chief rather would come with stones and would eat raw stones in presence of the people. Now, this one was being kept by the other king. This is a traditional worship song at the shrines, and that is a grave for the dead chief. Women on barefoot row there together with men. It's the tradition for the Tonga people.
Gumarende antera gu
What I would tell my fellow youths is that we'll learn a lot of things here that can be beneficial to us as youths. What would you say to your friends who come from towns who say it's just a sheer waste of time coming here, those are old-fashioned things? What would you say to your fellow youths? It's just that they don't know the truth, they don't know what they're missing. It's very important to learn our traditions as young children. Otherwise, there are other things that we learn here, for example, respecting people, and they can learn one or two things. We learn a lot of things. When you learn lots of things, of what benefit is it? I mean, what's the difference between you and the other girls that are found in towns? The difference is that there are different types of dances that are found in Zambia, but the dances that are found here are traditional dances that are important to us as young ladies. Thanks very much. All I can say is that I would encourage each and every young adult who is out there who don't come to this place to be coming here so that they can be learning different things every year. My name is Hilary. Yes, Hilary, we've been found together at this place. What is the importance of being found to such a place? Being found in such a place is it helps us have a picture of what used to happen a long time ago. Other than knowing what used to happen, things that used to happen a long time ago, of what good is it for a youth like you? Well, for me, it's okay. I mean, seeing things that used to happen a long time ago that no longer happen and they're being practiced here, it's good for me. To your fellow youths, especially those that are in towns, those that say being found in such places is just a sheer waste of time, it's boring. As a young youth, as a young adult, what would you say to such people? What I would say to such people is that old traditions are very important to us, because in as much as we stay in towns, we are supposed to understand our origin, we're supposed to understand where we came from. So let us not put these things aside. Thanks very much. Give the closing remarks. For me, I've just come today. I'm here in Monze. So for you guys who did not happen to attend this ceremony, all I can request is that next year, that is next time we have this ceremony, you should come and attend. Different families prepare food here. This is what we do at the kitchen. We come together as non-government organizations together with the government. We put our monies together with the monies from the government, then we buy food, then the food is distributed to everyone who comes here so that they can have food in their 4 days of being here. Now what I've seen is that the kitchens are too many here. I mean, how do you share this food? It is very simple. Others come with their own food, others highly depend on the food that comes from the government. Yeah, just like that. My name is Universe Miova. I found you here. What would you tell me about your kitchen? The food that we prepare, we find it here. How many days do you stay here, and are you able to be sustained in terms of food up to when you go back? Of course, we find everything here, and food is more than enough for anyone who wishes to come and camp here for 4 days. Madam Kezia Mwenga, who happened to be the master of ceremony at Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony this time, this is what she has to say. A person who is shy to stand in front of people, the first thing to teach them is to tell them not to look at the people or the audience directly into their eyes. For we know that it is not good for a public speaker to speak while they face down. Now, for it to be okay for you, you're supposed to look at them directly onto their foreheads or on top of their heads. It just appears like you're looking at them, but avoid eye contact. Of course, we all know that eye contact with the people you're talking to makes you nervous a bit, because others are not concentrating, others are backbiting while you're talking. So to avoid all such, to avoid the confusion, don't look at them directly into their eyes, rather look at their foreheads or maybe on top of their heads. That helps, of course. The other thing that helps a public speaker to talk to the audience is that you have to prepare adequately before you go to stand in front of the people you're going to talk to. Take a deep breath 3 times. That will help you calm down, like until it's 3 times. When you are done, you find yourself calm and pacified, and you have all the courage that you need to speak to the multitude with all the zeal that is expected of you. The other thing that is helpful to do when you want to talk to the public is that you ask what the people expect of you from whoever gives you the task, so that you know exactly what to talk to the people. Because if you start talking about things that are outside the topic or what you're expected of, you even forget where you started from, and you confuse people, you confuse your audience. Yeah, at the end of it all, you start repeating things that you've already said. So to avoid all such, you know exactly what you're supposed to talk about. And let us hear what Gloria Munkombwe, who comes from a non-governmental organization, let's hear what she has to say. As a non-governmental organization, here we have come to our chiefs, because we know different chiefs have gathered at this place. What we want to do is that through our chiefs, we can sanitize and sensitize our women that they should not encourage their female children to get married. They need to encourage their children to go to school. They need to make it known to their children that education is the only panacea to all social vices. Thanks very much. What words do you have concerning self-reliance to the public, especially for our female children who rush for marriage, putting their education aside? In our non-government organization, what we are saying is that people who do such things should stop doing them because they jeopardize and destroy the futures of their children. Because we need to understand that our children are the leaders of tomorrow. So we need to see them develop and be self-reliant, do things that are incredible, things that are amazing to us, things that we could never do as their parents. So let us encourage our children to go to school so that they can succeed in their lives. Let us talk about HIV and AIDS. What is the major role that you have for trying to sensitize the public about HIV and AIDS? In our organization, what we are doing here at Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony is that we are sensitizing people that if they are found with the virus of HIV and AIDS is not the end. There are so many organizations that teach how someone can stay with that virus and lead a normal life like a person who is not HIV positive. All they have to do is to follow the instructions they are given strictly.
Na mbuli byomugupona abantu igutegwa obubulwazi butanoyigumbere tubugwabe buli mpobu bedawa tugwahe igisijesu jonse
twarumbaika pati no mupe ikuyungi habuyo mbuli kubulwazi bwahigalirege ndiza imumama antera.
Briefly, what would you say to someone who, a man or a woman who finds out that they are HIV positive? How are they to accept that? How can they take it so that they can live a normal life like they used to live before? Like I said, there are so many organizations that have or that help with medicine, that help financially, and that give advice on how someone can live with the virus of HIV and AIDS. It doesn't mean that when you find that you are HIV positive, that is the end, you are about to die. No, there are organizations that give drugs for free to such people so that they can live a normal life like the other people who don't have the virus. All they have to do is to follow instructions strictly and to make sure that they do not give the virus to other people who don't have the virus. Thanks very much. Please give a summary of what we are talking about here. What I would say is that to our women, let us look up to our husbands and be faithful so that we cannot allow any interest of the virus from our part. The same applies to our husbands. Let us stick to one partner so that we can fight HIV and AIDS together. The other thing I can say is that we have to look at our children as our future leaders of the encouragement is that the chiefs who are present here should take this message to their people, because we are too few to reach all the remote areas here. But if the chiefs help us by taking this message to their people, then we would have worked together in fighting against HIV and AIDS and improving our country.
agaga abengo batola mu menzi yabo bapiruga igutegwa gisujesu gisumpuge giyambe
I'm very grateful and excited to have visited Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony this year again, and what I can say to those that have not managed to come is that they should make it a must next year. I'm very happy because I've learned a lot. From yesterday when we arrived here, it wasn't very interesting, but today and the coming days, I think they seem to be very auspicious.
Jakomani abayindwa mwaka wobola bagalijane gogono
irwindwa mwaka uno.
This year's Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony has been very interesting and very good because it has not been attached to any form of politics, because the other recent ones have had issues to do with politics, but this one has just taken place as it's supposed to. Well, this past 4 days has been very interesting than ever because there's peace and tranquility in all the days we're celebrating our ceremony here. Thanks very much. Now, what do you say for those that have not managed to come this year? Well, for those that have not managed to come this year, I would urge them to come next year, and we need to learn a lot of things concerning our tradition, so it's not actually good to miss such occasions because they come once in a while. Moreover, they come over the holiday. Traditions of our country are very important to us because they remind us and our children of where we came from. This has been the place where the Lwiindi Gonde Ceremony takes place here in Monze. So these are the things that happen here, and the encouragement from our fellow youths to our fellow youths is that they should always make it a must to attend this ceremony each year, because out of 10 traditions, at least you would understand